Welcome to Let's Talk About Leadership, Service, and Sisterhood,
a podcast sponsored by the California Rainbow for Girls,
an organization empowering young leaders to find their voice,
serve their community, and gain lifelong sisters.
Membership is open to girls 8 through 12.
Learn more at gocaarainbow.org. Welcome back to Let's Talk About Leadership, Service, and Sisterhood, a podcast by teens for teens, where we discuss topics that matter to us.
We are members of California IOLG, a leadership and service organization for girls ages 11 to 20. In today's episode, we'll be talking about traveling as a teen.
For those of you who have never tuned in before, welcome. My name is Ashley. I am a member of California Rainbow in Vacaville and am the producer of Let's Talk About Leadership, Service, and Sisterhood.
And I'm Catherine, a member of California Rainbow Girls in San Buenaventura and co-producer of Let's Talk About Leadership, Service, and Sisterhood. Today, we are joined by our fellow California Rainbow members.
Hi, I'm Audrey, and I'm from Fidelity Assembly.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mariah. I'm from Woodland Assembly, and I am a current state officer for the International Order of the Rainbow for Girls.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carly. I'm from Camellia Assembly, and I am a pastoring officer.
Hello and welcome. Okay, let's get to it.
So our first question is, who has traveled the farthest from California?
Definitely not me, if I'm being honest.
I've traveled to France, so Europe.
Whoa.
Oh
I don't know which direction we're going around, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it depends. I've gone to Canada, like Niagara Falls area, and Mexico.
That's cool.
You guys definitely got me beat. I've been to Washington, and that's the farthest, so that's all I got.
I've been to Alaska, and I've been to the Philippines. I don't know
Ooh.
about those.
I'm gonna look it up right now. The Philippines is really far, I think, right? It's like the other.
Yeah.
It is 7,185 miles from California to the Philippines. How is France? I think you got me beat, Catherine, honestly.
I have no idea, bro.
Yeah, I'm about 2,000 miles under that, so.
Dang, that's so cool, though.
Yeah.
What was the craziest trip you've ever been on?
I think the craziest trip in terms of fun was, I believe it was 6 days to Hawaii when I was in 7th grade, and it was beautiful. We stayed on the main island, and it was gorgeous. We did zip lining, and there was like 4 different pools at our hotel. It was crazy. So in terms of fun, it was pretty cool. And there are adults in our organization, and they have a coffee farm in Hawaii, and we got to pick coffee beans on their farm. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of fun, I went on a Disney cruise in 5th grade, and that was super duper fun. It was the first cruise that I remember because I went on one when I was 2, but I don't really remember. And then also over New Year's, not last year, but the year before, my family went to Hawaii for a couple days, and also went ziplining. We went to Waikiki, and it was a lot of fun. And we hadn't gone on a family vacation for a while because the previous one we went with like 10 other families on a cruise, and so it was really fun to like have family bonding again.
That's cool. That's awesome.
I've never been on a cruise. Is the food really good? I always hear that it's super yummy and there's a bunch of all-you-can-eat buffets.
It depends on the cruise you go on. The Disney cruise was delicious, but the carnival I went on, which was last summer with like 10 other families, it was, cruise food.
Okay, I'm into that. Okay.
Wait, so Carly, what is it like being a teenager on a cruise? I've never been on one before.
So, when I went on the carnival over the summer, I was 19, and so I didn't really get to do like the teen clubs. I more went to like the adult things, like the comedy shows and like the clubs and stuff.
Oh.
Anyways, it was fun. But my sister, she was 16 at the time, and she went to the teens clubs, and it was really fun because she got to meet a lot of people her age. And I remember when I was in fifth grade, they have kind of a club for younger kids too. It's kind of like a sixth through like high school, sixth grade through high school, and then like fifth and under. And so I met a lot of people my age there too, and we hung out a lot on the beach. So yeah,
That's sick.
Cool, that's awesome. That sounds really fun.
The craziest trip I've been on is when I was in Alaska, and me and a few of my friends went up the mountain. We didn't have anything. We were just whatever we had on, and we skied like from the tip of the mountain. So there was a girl before me, and she didn't realize she was making little holes on her way down, stopping herself from like speeding down. So as I went second, I was going a little too fast, and I flipped over and ate it. I was going down, and I was like praying to the Lord. I was like, Lord, I'm sorry, I love you, Mom. And I started saying all of like that day. So that was the craziest part of my trip.
That sounds. Oh my
That
gosh.
takes the cake. Yeah, that for sure takes the cake.
Mariah, did you answer this question?
No, I don't have anything.
It doesn't have to be
Okay.
like a plane trip, like far. It could be like, oh, I was traveling up to North Cal and something happened. We got a flat tire or something like that.
Okay. I would say the craziest trip I've ever been on was one of the most spontaneous trips I've ever been on. So last summer, me and my friends around like 10 o'clock, we decided that we wanted to take a night trip to San Francisco with no plans. So we got into each other's car and we drove an hour to San Francisco, and we ate some really delicious food, and we also drove around. Like, there's amazing sights in San Francisco, and it just was really cool, especially at night. I didn't think the city would be super bright. I live in kind of a small town, so it was really cool.
that's so fun.
Everyone should try it, honestly. I'm very spontaneous when it comes to trips, I'll have you all know.
I'm gonna say when we had the Disneyland takeover and Mariah hung out with me the whole day. Mariah is the craziest person I have ever hung out with in a theme park. She was here, there, everywhere. Like Toontown, like the little kid area, she was playing, and there were just like 3-year-olds running around next to her while she's playing on like their equipment.
Their
And
equipment? What the heck? It's for me too.
it was really funny because she was everywhere. And I remember it was like 9:30 p.m. and I was so tired because I had already spent like 3 days there. And I was like, I want to go home. And Mariah's like, wait, I really want to go on Big Thunder Mountain. Like, are you sure? It was really
Apologies.
great.
Wait, can I
Yeah.
add something? So on the way home from Southern Rainbow Camp over the summer, I had 6 other girls in the car, and there was a hurricane watch.
Oh yeah.
And so who the driver was, you're looking at her. So it was terrifying, trying not to like, swerve around. And you would think with like, 7 people in the car, a luggage rack on top with all of our luggage, we wouldn't swerve. Like the tires wouldn't spin. But they did, like the whole way home. And it was so scary. But we made it back safely, and we listened to Bruno Mars, and it was great. And I guess some Taylor Swift too for, the Swifties that are here. But I'm a Bruno Mars fan. It was great.
Is it true that while you were driving through a hurricane, you guys were listening to Hurricane from Hamilton?
We actually listened to we just searched up on Spotify Hurricane, and every song that came up while we were driving down the mountain from Southern Camp, we played that was called Hurricane. So there was, Hurricane by Hamilton, Hurricane by Luke Combs, Hurricane by Kanye West, like all of them. So and
Hurricane, there is quiet.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yikes, guys.
I'd pay some good money to be in Carly's car, though. I bet she has some good jams playing while she's driving.
Well, our next question is, does anyone have any trips coming up soon?
I have a cruise coming up, my first ever.
Ooh.
I'm very excited. It was there, then it was canceled, there, canceled. It was a roller coaster of emotions. And I even made a Pinterest board for a cruise. So I'm really excited that it's actually happening. And I'm going with my Grammy. It's going to be so fun. And I don't know how I'm going to be on a boat, but I'm very excited for it. And we're going to Catalina Island. And I get to drive a golf cart around the whole island. It's going to be really fun. I'm excited.
Are you gonna go snorkeling?
Maybe. I'm like Mariah. If something comes up, I'll be like, okay, as long as it doesn't involve sharks, I'll be fine.
Yeah, I actually have a trip planned with my mom to Nevada in Las Vegas for Nevada's Grand Assembly for our nonprofit. It's basically just where the state of Nevada comes together and just enjoys what our nonprofit does. And I am so blessed to go as a California state officer to Nevada. And I am so excited. I'm a little nervous, if I'm not gonna lie, but I'm so excited for this trip. It's going to be pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it, guys. You have no idea. Okay, sorry.
I'm going to see Bruno Mars in Vegas.
What?
And then also, so in the beginning of August, I'm going to Mexico, and then at the end of August, I'm going to see Bruno Mars in Vegas. So it's gonna be lit.
Heck, I want to go see Bruno Mars.
At least once a day, I see a TikTok. And I'm like, just transport me. I need that
Literally.
consent everywhere. Like I want to collect it in a bag and keep it forever. I'm getting like serious FOMO with it, honestly. Like
I'm so excited.
Well, I am planning a trip in a little less than a year now. It's gonna be to Visalia. It's called Great Assembly. I'm excited for that.
For context, the trip Ashley is talking about is actually our nonprofit's Grand Assembly. So that's where all of California comes together and enjoys what our amazing nonprofit has to offer. So that's why she's super excited about it. And all of us are pretty excited about it too.
I don't actually have any trips coming up. I want to go back to Disneyland. That's gonna come up a lot today. I really like Disneyland.
I feel a little extra for this, but my school is having a NES tour, and each year is different. Like my freshman year, it was Japan. This year, it was all Europe, and then this year, we're going to Italy. So I'm looking forward and hoping that I can join them for the Italy trip if the plane tickets aren't booked.
And Japan would be so sick. Yeah.
I know. I'm so sad I missed out on it. What are some tips you have learned to make travel easier?
I've learned if I'm packing like even a small bag is to either not procrastinate until like an hour before you have to leave and don't pack too early. You got to find like that middle ground. I also find that making a list because every time I leave my house, I forget something and it's usually an important thing. And then I end up having to buy extra shoes when I go to Grand Assembly because I didn't bring mine. So yeah, just making sure you have everything and don't pack too early, don't pack too late. It's just stressful either way.
So when I went to Hawaii, there was a going on with Southwest where planes were getting canceled for some odd reason. It was that whole shabacle. And so our trip got delayed a few days because we were supposed to leave the day after Christmas, and we didn't leave until like the 28th or 30th. And so my advice is to just chill because it's going to be okay. And you're still going to get to your destination and have a good time. So, yeah.
Tips, I would say pack light. I don't necessarily know. I am an overpacker, which like I'll bring like my water toothpick for my teeth, even though I don't need it for like an overnight trip. So I would say just make a list. That's actually kind of smart. I should do that.
Way overpacking is an issue.
If you don't pack enough, like for instance, say you like pack for the cold and then it ends up being super hot. Well, you would have wished you brought a pair of shorts. Like you can always bring a few things just in case. That's what I do.
Yeah, definitely.
I am the type of person to bring like a book or like homework on a small trip and tell my teachers and myself that I would do my homework, but I never do. So I'm always too busy just doing other things. It's kind of silly, but it's all good.
I'm an overpacker too. So I was gonna say like it's better to bring like that one item that you are like 50-50 if you'll need it than to leave it at home.
Mm-hmm.
Probably bring it. There's probably a reason you're thinking about bringing it. And worst comes to worst, it took up that little extra space in your suitcase. Unless it's something massive, then maybe rethink your choices. But like, if it can fit in the suitcase, even with all your other stuff, probably take it. I went somewhere, supposed to be sunny, poured down rain everywhere. So I'm glad that I packed for the just in case scenario.
I still have a packing list because I've actually packed 5 minutes before I left. Let me tell you, it was horrendous because I ended up having to buy like two things on that trip because I forgot them. As soon as you hear from that trip that you're going on it, have an image in your mind. What are the things you need and where they're located in your room? So that way, if you're packing and you need to go, you know where they are and you just like grab them, like shove it in your luggage or whatever you have. That's what I did during my 5 minute thing.
So, girls, if you could travel to one destination anywhere you wanted in the world, where would you choose and why?
So I think my dream location for a trip would definitely be either Italy or Greece or like in one. I've always wanted to travel there and immerse myself in their culture. I started learning Italian like 3 years ago on Duolingo. I didn't get very far, but I'm dedicated to do it again and try. And honestly, I just love to go there. And I heard the food is like chef's kiss. So yeah, that's definitely the dream. And why is, like I said, the food, the culture, everything about it. And I want to have my Mamma Mia summer in Greece and just wear like white and blue the whole time and I don't know, have wavy hair and have fun. So yeah, that's definitely my dream trip.
My dream travel location is for sure Japan. I've always been super interested by just where it is. I love food. I've talked about it like 3 times already, but I think it'd be pretty cool to enjoy the food and also the culture. It seems really awesome and interesting to me. And oh my gosh, is it pretty? Are you serious? I see it all the time online. I'm like, dang, I would look so good there. Anyway. I'm funny. I'm funny. Okay, okay.
You are, Mariah. You are.
A redhead in Japan. That'd be funny. If I could travel anywhere, I'd probably go to Bora Bora. And I know a lot of people say that, but honestly, I just want to go like sleep on the in the hotels that are like on the water. That's it. Like that is literally my reasoning because I just think it'd be so cool. And like to like walk out your little patio and it's like the netting that you can just lay on in the beach. Or
Awesome.
like Audrey said, because yeah, I want to study abroad there actually, probably the first semester of my senior year in college, just because it looks so cool. And a former friend that was in Rainbow, Katie, and it just looked awesome, and I want to do that too.
That's really cool.
First off, I want to say, Mariah, like, you unlocked like a memory for me. I used to want to go to Japan so badly. Oh my gosh, that's like my number two because you just unlocked that. That was like 12-year-old Ashley's dream. But Ashley's dream now is to go to New York. I've always wanted to go to New York, and every show I've ever seen has New York in it, and it's so hyped up. I'm kind of scared because if I do ever go, I feel like it's not going to be as cool, but that's okay. I really just want to walk around and get the experience of like seeing the people there. And I've heard that it's like really busy and like loud, and that's like the environment I like. So I think that that would be really cool. And like the first thing I want to do is go see a Broadway show in New York. And that's like my dream. The day that I get to see a Broadway show in New York is the day that my life is like fulfilled. So if anyone wants to go to New York with me, get tickets to go see a show. Yes, I got
I
hands up.
volunteer. I will go see any Broadway show you want. I will see multiple, but you have to come with me to the four-story Barnes and Noble. It's the biggest one in the U.S.
He's a four-story Barnes and Noble.
Four-story. So like the one at the Grove, the Barnes and Noble at the Grove, is 3 stories. It's pretty big, but there's 4 stories in New York. I have to go. It's a goal, a life goal of mine.
It's a deal.
Okay, deal.
I think you just
My
blew
Barnes and
Ashley's
Noble is
mind.
no, because my Barnes and Noble is tiny.
Me too.
My
There's like
gosh.
3, but they're all at least 45 minutes away from me.
We're going to New York. Or New Jersey, because I want to see if the people in Jersey actually talk as funny as they do. Because it's like Jersey. Like I want to. Sorry, I want to see if people actually talk like that, or if it's just like a myth. Like that'd be
Yeah,
funny.
that would be cool.
That'd be cool. I want
Mhm.
to see that. Is it real?
I believe so. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory.
I've just like never. Okay, I've never met someone with an accent like that, but I
That's
don't
fair.
know.
That's fair. That's fair.
Catherine,
Anyway.
where would you go?
I was going to agree with Mariah about going to Japan. I was devastated that I couldn't go. But Audrey just gave me a new one. I want to go to Barnes and Noble with 4 stories. That's
Yay!
crazy.
We're
And
making a
also,
girls trip right now.
right? I was already so happy when like Barnes and Nobles have 2 stories. Having four, oh my gosh, I would faint right there. But now, the trip that I'm looking forward the most is going to Italy. Hoping so bad. What are some travel challenges you face?
I think the main one, it's only happened to me once. I was traveling alone from Arkansas to Dallas to Burbank. I was flying back home alone, and I might have been 16, I think. But I got to Dallas Fort Worth, and if anyone knows Dallas Fort Worth, it is ginormous of an airport. There's like trains to take you from different doors. Like that's how big it is. It's a huge airport. And I thought I had a good hour and a half. And I made the mistake of not checking my phone for the flight updates. And I had to run across literally the entire airport in a full circle because there was no connection right there. So I had to go all the way around and I barely made my flight. So yeah, if you have the flight thing on your phone or on a paper, make sure you're at the right gate because my gate changed without me noticing. And yeah, it said Florida. I'm like, I'm not going to Florida. So yeah, just so you don't have to run to save your energy, make sure you're keeping updated on that.
Just unlocked a memory. But I was for some reason in the Vegas airport and I was like, oh, I got 45 minutes. I can go to this Starbucks right here. Well, the Starbucks took forever, and then I didn't know where my gate was. It was at the other end of the whole airport. And I don't know if you've ever been to the Vegas airport, but it's huge. And I also ran, and I was the last person on my flight. Felt really bad, but
me too. Yeah.
I feel like this is kind of goofy, but my biggest challenge is saying goodbye to my family. So coming back home is always kind of hard. Like I love my family so much, and whenever I travel to see them, it's just like I need a hug from them. Like, please, I don't want to leave. But it is what it is.
That's not goofy, Mariah. That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I actually am not born here. I'm actually born in the Philippines. So when I moved here, it was like a hard thing. And then me coming back again, I think like 2 years ago, and having to like say bye with more than half of my family, it was hard. Really sobbed. So
I kind of have the opposite of Mariah. My struggle is coming back home to my family sometimes, because sometimes they just really annoy me. And also, I just don't like walking into my room because like you go to like a hotel and your hotel is so clean and then you get back to your house and you're like, oh, like okay.
Back to reality, yeah.
Because like my room is so messy and then like I didn't make my bed before I left and I'm like, oh, cute. It looks like a rat lives in here. After I just was at like a super nice hotel with everything clean. So yeah, it's kind of hard to come home sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've had my Pretty Woman moment. If y'all have seen the movie, it's a good movie. You haven't seen it, definitely watch. But I had my Woman moment in a hotel room that I was at an event, and they're like, "Oh, you're tired? Here, take a nap." Untouched, like gorgeous balcony view, and I'm like, "Okay." And it was my Grammy's friend. So yeah, I took in like a Beverly Hills hotel, I think. It was very nice, and then it was sad to come back home. Yeah, my room was the size of the bathroom in the hotel. So I get what you mean, actually.
It's so real. It's so funny. And then like you have like the queen size bed. Well, actually, I don't have this problem anymore because I just got a full size bed. But like you're in like the queen size, and then you get back home, you're like, oh, I have to go back to like a twin. It's really cute.
That one had, I think it was like what is it, the California King? It had that mattress. And I was like, I could just sink in
That's the
here.
worst. You sink into the bed and you don't leave.
No, I couldn't.
You forget that you have family, you forget about your twin size bed, and you stay there.
Yeah.
No, so time we had like such a nice bathroom, and the bathtub was like so nice, and I got a bath bomb because it was like a clean bathtub
Mm-hmm.
because normally I don't at hotel rooms, but it was like nice. And I was like, oh, take a bath bomb bath and everything. And then I get back home. And then I bought bath bombs, and then it's like, oh, well, this isn't the same.
It's always like fun when it's not your own space.
Okay, I do have one question for you guys though. So I've actually never been on a plane before, ever in my entire life. But I just was wondering, like, what's it like? Because I keep hearing mixed things, saying that it's super easy to go on a plane or if it's super scary and hard. So I just was wondering.
It definitely depends if you're scared of heights. Like I'm terrified of heights. But I think it's like, even if I sit in the window seat, it's so high up that it doesn't scare me. So I don't know. My fear disappears when I'm in a plane, but I've only been like 3 or 4 times in my life, I think. And some I was too young to remember, but it was like flying over water is scary for me. Flying land when you can see it is fine. But it really depends. And also, I've only ever flown economy. So it's comfy if you're tall, like my brother, who has bad knees, it's very uncomfortable. But like, I think we're okay. So some of them have footrests. Depends which airline you take. Even in economy. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. Some people have heights. I personally don't have those issues. But I know like a lot of people get scared when there's turbulence. But that's the time to get up and go to the bathroom because I actually enjoy it and I feel like I'm like surfing. And so yeah, that's when I decide I have to use the restroom so I can walk around while everyone's like, in their seats with knees waddling. My mom absolutely terrified, like whoo, and I'm like, okay, this is the fun time.
I saw this TikTok that was explaining turbulence, and it's like when people think about it now, the Jello theory, right? So it's like a Jello cup. This guy has a Jello cup, and he puts like a little like airplane figurine in the middle of the Jello, and it's like shaking the Jello, right? But the plane is okay, and it's like explaining the turbulence of the air is like right, it's like shifting, but the plane, it's going steady. So if I ever think like my mom took a flight a month ago and she was telling us there was so much turbulence, I'm like, Mom, don't you know the Jello theory? And now she knows that and be like, oh, we're in Jello right now. It's okay. So
Yeah.
if there was a real issue, you would be informed. So
planes are super cool. I actually almost dropped out of college to become a commercial pilot. So that was kind of
that would be cool. I would have flown in your plane and felt comfortable.
Well, thanks for the input. I'm actually flying on my first plane to Nevada's Grand Assembly, so I'll for sure let you know how that goes because I'm freaking out just a little bit though.
Sorry, I think it's so funny how everyone else is like, oh, turbulence, and Carly's like, this is my potty break. I think that's so funny. Also, Mariah, I think that you'd like it because you're very into like views and taking aesthetic pictures. I think you'd be more immersed with the experience than anything else. You'll be fine.
My Instagram story is going to be looking good.
Oh, yeah.
If it's possible, Mariah, if their plane, takeoff, touchdown, something is during sunrise or sunset and it's clear skies, that is the most beautiful sun I've probably ever seen in my life. I was flying to Hawaii and I saw the sunset. I also saw the top of a volcano. That was cool. Like you could see it from beneath the clouds. And I was coming back and my side of the plane had the sunrise and it was magnificent on the water. So
And if you're like in the window seat, usually, I don't know about you guys, but my pilot usually would tell us when, like, if everybody's asleep, he would tell us, oh, everybody wake up. Like, he will tell you to wake up and look at the scenery, and it would just be the most breathtaking view ever.
That's so cool.
Well, everyone, this has been a fantastic episode. We all really hope that you have enjoyed this episode and maybe even taking something for yourself from it. I know that I particularly loved hearing everyone's responses to the last question about flying in a plane. It's really great to know that Carly takes her potty breaks during the scariest part of the plane ride. That's great. Um, Good job, Carly. Way to make a negative a positive.
Thank you to our incredible guests, Carly, Audrey, and Mariah. We have definitely enjoyed having you today.
Please subscribe or follow our podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you regularly listen to your podcasts. And tune in next month. Until we meet again, I'm Ashley, and you're listening to Let's Talk about Leadership, Service, and Sisterhood. Goodbye.
Later.
Bye.